And look, you can't disrespect Newcastle for having a go, but I think the writing's been on the wall for a while, despite their best efforts. And one thing I would say to Newcastle fans is you can't argue with your club's ambition. It's, you may have been turned down a lot, but Newcastle sponsored by dimmer switchers because they're always turning them down. But the point that was disrespectful. It was banter. It was jokes. But yeah, I don't know. Bigger picture for Newcastle, I'm amazed on how many players you've missed out on. And look, you haven't missed out on Sesko yet. I think you probably have. I'd say I'm 90% sure that we're going to get him now instead of 75%. I mean, this would be the ultimate ball drop from Man United. This would be the ultimate bottle job. We've always said we only bid when players want us. If we bid and we don't get him, then what are we doing? But yeah, look, it's exciting. Of course, it is for United. Let me just have a quick look at this. Ben Jacobs saying that more on Man United's 75 million plus 10 bid for Sesko. Formal offer made this morning following talks with Sesko yesterday. The 75 million euros matches Leipzig's quoted fixed fee. 5 million of the add-ons are easily achievable, leaving Manchester United to consider the bid close to Newcastle's package. Overall number is lower though. Manchester United believe Sesko wants to join and never plan to bid without the player buy-in. Newcastle attempting to agree a deal first with Leipzig and had hoped Manchester United would back off last night. Now both clubs engaged with talks with Leipzig and neither far off their expectations. Newcastle's long-standing fear has been if both clubs offer like for like, Sesko would pick Manchester United. So look, Ben Jacobs still keeping the door open for Newcastle, but as we've always seen, Manchester United appear to have the upper hand on him wanting us. And I call bullshit on, look at what Sky Sports are saying. Sesko has been open to both projects, but one source maintains he's leaning towards Man United. Have you ever heard such a hypocritical statement? It's like me saying, I quite fancy both of them, but I fancy her more. Forget about it. What are you talking about? What sort of update is that? Sesko's open to both projects, but he's leaning towards Man United. There is no footballer. There is no footballer in the world of football that sits there and goes, I quite fancy Real Madrid and Barcelona. The same. I like you both the same. You don't. You're always going to prefer one or the other. And obviously, he prefers Manchester United. Now, the interesting thing about what Ben Jacobs is saying there is that Newcastle's 69 million might be more than our 65 million, but our add-ons are more easily achievable. So Newcastle's add-ons might be he's got to win the Golden Boot and Newcastle have got to qualify for the Champions League next season. Man United's add-ons might be he's got to score 20 Premier League goals. So I think we're very, very close. Leipzig might just accept our bid. And if they do, he's going to be holding a Man United shirt up in the next 7 days. How exciting is that? So not only could we get Sesko wants us, we could also get, here we go, which means he's going to be here for the start of the season, which is massively exciting. Obviously, I wouldn't expect him to start against Arsenal because he ain't going to be in time for Fiorentina, but it would still be a big boost to get that striker in so that we can move on to other transfers that still need to be done. But yeah, look, I'll call bullshit on this. I've never believed, and I think even Newcastle fans would agree with this. I have never agreed that Sesko is sat there going, I like both. I like both. I like both. When in life do you like both? There's a donut. There's a cake. Wow. You pick one, don't you? And we could go a lot worse than that. He's never been sat there going, I don't mind either. There's big differentials between the two. Newcastle offer instant Champions League football and probably a better team at the moment. Manchester United offer status, huge football club, and a project that maybe he thinks is going to come to fruition, and a club that's on his arse that he can be the guy that is the superstar that gets Man United back on track. That's quite alluring. Why do we keep getting big managers? So I think they're totally different projects as well. So why would you be 50-50 split on it?